All right. Hey guys, welcome to this series I'm going to be doing about Diablo 4 aspects. We got insight to the Codex of Power on the closed beta weekend, and I took screenshots of every single affix and I categorized them in between like a bunch of different stuff. So we're going to be going through it in multiple videos, and so this one video is going to be about the utility aspects. There's only 10 of them that as of the moment of the closed beta. I mean, this is a Codex of Power, and it covered all the it pretty much covered the whole map in terms of because the Codex of Power only has two sources of affixes, like how you can get them, and that is through completing dungeons and progressing through the campaign in the 5 territories. So I took the liberty of screenshotting everything, and we don't go through it all. So there's 10 of them in 10 utility aspects. And so starting off, aspect of the singed extremities. After immobilized wears off, enemies are slowed by 25% for 4 seconds, and you unlock this by completing the Earthren Wound dungeon in Hawazar, and it's for sorcerers. Right away, immobilize, it's probably from I don't know what skill. I haven't really gone through the skill list fully to look at stuff. So it's probably a stats effect that you can put down as a sorcerer, whether it's probably something to do with lightning, most likely. And then next we have aspect of anemia, which is on a lucky hit, direct damage against bleeding enemies has up to a 31% chance to stun them for 2 seconds. Sounds really good. Sounds like this would be really good to use if you're doing a bleed build. And you unlock this by completing the dungeon of Core Dragon Barracks and Fractured Peaks, the Act 1 area. So this is probably one of the dungeons you would have been able to complete in the beta. And this is for Barbarian. The ballistic aspect is when you have Fortify, your Earth skills gain +2 ranks. That sounds pretty good in general for the Druid. If you constantly keep your Fortify up, that means all your Earth skills have +2 to them. That could be difference between level 3 to 5 and gain a big boost, and then maybe from 5 to 7 getting even more of a boost, or unlocking skills that you wouldn't normally have access to. You unlock this by completing the dungeon Whispering Pines in Skosklin. I don't know the order of which the acts go in what areas, so I can't be too certain, but I think it goes Fractured Peaks, Dry Steps, I think Kahedgestan, what else? Hawazar probably, in Scotland I think is Act 5, maybe. I could be wrong. I didn't really look at the map too much, so I can't be too certain. Number 4, Relentless Berserker's aspect. On a lucky hit, damaging an enemy with a core skill has up to a 22% chance to extend the duration of berserking by 1 second. Double this duration if it was a critical strike. Sounds good if you have your critical strike chance up pretty high. You could, and then you constantly use core skills, you could keep your berserking up for a long time. I didn't play Berserker in the beta, so I can't say how that really works in terms of what kind of boost berserking has, but I would imagine it's probably pretty good to be berserking as a barbarian. And you complete this by completing the dungeon Hakon's Refuge in Kahedgestan. A lot of aspects really is in the later levels. You get a good portion of it in Fractured Peaks, like a decent amount, but not as much as you. And I feel like a lot of the better aspects are later on in the game for obvious reasons, because you'll be higher level, most likely tackling higher level areas. And then the next one is Storm Shifter's Aspect. While Hurricane is active, gain +2 ranks to your shapes shifting skills. And then you progress the campaign in Kehedjistan to unlock, and this is for Druid. This goes really well, probably with, what one is it? Ballistic Expert, if you are doing probably a mix of shape-shifting and earth skills. Like if you have both of these aspects, you could probably be doing a lot of damage, or at least keeping your skills high level without having to put a lot of points in them. You could use these aspects to kind of boost up your ranked skills, and you instead use those skill points for furthering the skills that you're using down their specific skill tree to get boosts, or using those skill points to get the other little nodes that have other passive effects. And then number 6 out of 10 is the Eluding Aspect. Becoming injured while crowd control grants you unstoppable for 4 seconds. This effect has a 40-second cooldown. And you unlock this by completing the dungeon Caldera Gate and Fractured Peaks. This, as you can see, based on the other ones where I put Druid or like Barbarian, this is for any class to use. This would probably be pretty good. I mean, that cooldown's pretty rough. But I mean, if you get hit by like you get frozen or something, becoming unstoppable would be pretty good, because that means you can get out of it. And then number 7, Aspect of Shared Misery. On a lucky hit, when you hit a crowd-controlled enemy, there's a 30% chance for that crowd control effect to spread to another unaffected enemy. And this is for any class, and it's for completing the dungeon Oblivion in Hawazar. So this would be good if, say, you throw, like, I play Sorcerer, so if you toss down Frost Nova and you freeze enemies, and say you hit a frozen enemy, and say you have enemies that weren't in the radius of your Frost Nova, and you hit them, hit the people that are frozen, it could spread out, and essentially you could have double the range of your Frost Nova as long as you keep hitting the people that got crowd controlled with like Frost. Or I know rogues use mostly stun, like stunning enemies, so you could stun a bunch of enemies by hitting enemies that are stunned. Berserker probably, I don't know what Berserker uses really too much. Well, Barbarian. And then the Torturous Aspect. Enemies afflicted by your Iron Maiden have a 15% chance to be stunned for 1 second when they deal direct damage. Progress the campaign in Kehedjistan to unlock, and it's for Necromancer. That'd probably be good. I mean, kind of low percent chance. I don't know if all aspects can be applied to necklaces, but I know the aspects you can apply to a necklace gets a boost of 50%. So skills that are like low with like 15% chance could be boosted up to 30% chance, and then with like double the stun time or something like that. And I have a feeling like some of these numbers later on, because there's like flat damage numbers, they're probably adjusted based on your level, and or yeah, it's probably adjusted based on your level. And then Aspect of Quicksand. Damage from earth skills slow enemies hit by 25% for 5 seconds. So it slows down enemies that are hit by your earth skills. That again probably would be really good to use with Ballistic Aspect, because then you have +2 to your earth skills, as long as you keep Fortify up, and then you can slow enemies down by hitting them with earth skills. I feel like there's a lot of aspects that can go hand in hand with each other as we go through the list. And this is unlocked by completing the dungeon Ferald's Den in Scotland. And then another one. The last one is Aspect of Explosive Verve. Your grenade skills count as trap skills. Whenever you arm a trap or drop grenades, you gain 10% increased movement speed for 3 seconds. Unlocked by completing the Dungeon Derelict Lodge and Fractured Peaks, and this is for Rogue. This sounds awesome. Being able to increase your movement speed constantly by, saying, using your grenade skills or your trap skills. Like if you're able to keep up your whatever, like your let's say mana, like your resource, yes, whatever your resource is, if you can keep that up and you can keep dropping stuff, traps or grenades, you could be moving so fast across the map. I feel like this is pretty good for the Rogue. And obviously we will go through and kind of see how many each one has, like each class. The Druid only has 3 utility aspects, while the Barbarian has 2 and the Sorcerer has 1. 2 aspects can be applied to any class. Necromancer has 1 and the Rogue has 1. So who is it? I think it's the Druid has the most out of the utilities for aspects, so that's pretty good. That's like good for Druids in terms of utility. Anyways, that's it for the utility aspects. So I'll see you guys next time when we do and like obviously I'll go for the rest of the series. I plan to go through and do videos specifically on specific classes, like the Barbarian. Like I have them linked to all of them, and we'll go through class wise which ones would be good. But for right now, we're going through all the aspects, and then we'll go through the locations, and where, like, what locations have the most and all that. And that also goes kind of into like the counts of like which location has what, whether it's dungeon or campaign based. We'll go through that in other videos. This will probably be a multi-video series. I'm hoping to get it all done by before Friday, and I can start start uploading them today and tomorrow. That way, before the open beta hits, some people who haven't had a chance to play on the closed beta might need some, like something to look at, maybe to like reference to see. I mean, you could open the Codex of Power in game, but I'm hoping that with my videos, they're more like detailed and more broken down, and maybe you can find what you're looking for specifically based on what class and or location you're in, what aspects you might be expecting to find. Because when you're in the Codex of Power screen, the only sorting of the tabs is defensive, mobility, offensive, resource, and utility, and that's it. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.